we get into markets where homes are taking longer to sell, the name of the game is to start having to carry larger amounts of listings. So we have to carry more listings to get the same amount of transactions as we would be closing in markets when listings are selling fast. And so we have to shift our approaches in a very big way. Not to mention, we have to demonstrate a little bit more value to our sellers. Otherwise, we're going to fall into that lethal place where they are saying, "What are you doing to get my home sold?" And that is the most dangerous place to be in. It shows that your clients do not understand the job description, duties, or abilities of real estate agents. That is probably one of the biggest misconceptions out there, is that real estate agents do things to get homes sold. We don't. We expose homes. And that's really important to know. Our job is to get a lot of eyeballs on the listing. And so to be able to do that, we have to get that listing. We have to be able to, as we always talk about, we have to show large numbers of views. We have to be able to show that we're getting those views. And the problem is views definitely go down after the first 30 days tremendously. You're going to have a high number of views in that magic month, those first 30 days. But after that, we've got a really big problem with exposure. And really, the odds of us getting that home sold for anything close to list price starts to drop tremendously, unless we've got a very unique property, right? Something that's really high priced, or just something that's very unique where it takes a unique buyer. Other than that, we got a price problem usually, and we missed it. So how do we show that to a seller up front? And then how do we continue to show that if we do need a price reduction at the end of the month? How do we demonstrate the quagmire? And so what we've got is a really important tool that I want to show you that does that. And it's something that we provide to all of our clients and just haven't needed as much in the years when homes are selling really fast. But when homes start to slow down, and again, this is geographic. In most markets right now, homes are taking longer to sell. In the South, you're seeing them take a lot longer to sell all of a sudden, and quite a few other states as well. You're just seeing them take a lot longer. And then we have to start learning how to manage our sellers' expectations so they realize it's not us. We're still doing our job. In fact, we're working harder, fielding more questions because the property's on the market longer. So we have to show what we're up against. It's so much better than telling. I cannot say that enough. If we get into a salesman type approach where we're just trying to convince them and script them and using tie downs, guys, that does not work. It certainly doesn't work in higher price points. It really does. It's very important that we show data and not tell to be able to inform our clients. So let me show you the tool that we use here that works really well at doing that. And this is a tool, let's think about using this for starters in the listing presentation up front. Okay. And again, these are all editable fields that you can see here. You can see down at the bottom, there's two different worksheet tabs. On the back end of this, you can see it's real simple data. We just go into MLS on the first of each month. So you only have to do this 12 times a year. If you've got an admin team, they can easily do it for you. And you can pull your MLS data and you can look at how many homes are for sale in each price range. The first one is 350,000 to 399. I just did these off the average. You can put any numbers in here you want, but I did them $50,000 increments. The next one is 400,000 to 449, then 450 to 499, then 500 to 549, and then 550,000 and above. And you just look at how many homes you have active for sale in each price range, how many went pending in the last 30 days in each price range. That's how many went pending in the last 30 days, not how many are pending. Okay, big difference. Because the homes stay on there pending forever sometimes. It's a problem. People get fined for it all the time. You'd be shocked how many of those there are. And what's the average days on market for each price range? Okay, it's a very simple thing to do. It should take an admin no more than 30 minutes to gather this information from MLS. Might take the admin, a little bit longer the first go around because they got to figure out how to pull that data. And then we just input the numbers here. Once you set your price ranges, you should never have to do that again. I just went off the median home price in the United States, which is just north of 400,000. And then we're going to be a little bit below that and have a few categories above it. And then we're going to get up into the luxury range. Okay. And then we just go in and pull those numbers. And then it'll auto-populate the graph on the first page. Okay. And this can be saved as a PDF to show people. It should go in every single listing presentation you go in. So then you just save as, and you select PDF, and then it goes in your listing presentation every single time. Okay. Then we can do a lot of things with this if we know how to use the tool, right? For example, If we've got a $500,000 house, we can then show them that this is 500,000 to 549,000 down at the bottom. We can show them, and you'll see that the numbers always will work out like this in just about every market. So I don't really care where you are. You're going to see they work out like this. Just trust me, pull the data, and you'll say, oh, wow, it is similar. It's just the way it works. Believe it or not, your market is not unique. I know everybody loves to use that as an excuse as to why they can never do anything, but I'm telling you, it is just that, an excuse that you've told yourself so you don't have to do anything different. You will see that there are 30 homes for sale in this price range, and only 2 of them sold last month. So that means 1 out of every 15 homes sold. And that shows them the true nature of the market. Only 1 out of 15 sold. That means these 2 looked the best. They were priced the best. They looked absolutely perfect. And that the other 30 did not. Make sense? A 1 in 15 shot. You have a better chance to get drafted by the Major League Baseball team. Then you move over here, you can see the average days on market. That's how long they're waiting right now. Okay. And you can see as you move down closer to the median home price, it gets better and better for sellers. It always does. As you move away from the median, there are less buyers that are in position to buy. If you move down to the median, there are more buyers. So even at the median home price for this market, you can see only 15 sold out of 56, which is like, what is that? About a, I don't know, carry the one, about a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 shot of getting sold. You see what I'm saying? So for every 4 or 5 listings, only one of them, or I guess it's 4, every 1 in 4 listings is getting sold. So you have a 25% chance of selling if you price at market. That's not great odds. And you need to be able to show that. And you can say on average, it's taken 42 days just to go under pending for those 15. You see what I'm saying? If you drop down below the median price, it gets best. Now you're seeing 1 in 3 shot, maybe 1 in 3.5. So this does a few things for us. It sets expectations that this isn't going to be easy. The market is changing, or it has changed. And you can see as we move up, 450 to 499, it's about a 1 in 7 chance. And I'd be explaining all this. Only 7 went pending, but there's 49 active. Over here, we already talked about a 1 in 15 chance. We jump up to the luxury market. Holy moly. Look at 102 listings above 550,000 and only 15 sold. So now we're getting 87 houses just sitting out there, hoping to be one of the 15 picked. The only way to adjust for that, because we can't really change the house too much, maybe we need them to fix a few things up or make things a little nicer. The only way to adjust it is price, because price will make up for those adjustments too. So that will get your sellers more aggressive, more informed, and give them a larger picture. Not to mention on pricing. The difference from pricing here, if they could just get their list price down at 549, now we're down here with only 30 competitors. So you can see the windows you need to be in. If they really want that $400,000 price here, boy, wouldn't it be neat if they were 399 and they got down into this number where 30 sold last month. So we can actually get them to move their price points. We have to have conversations with our sellers that break it down. And it's always going to be on the previous month's data, because I don't want you doing this every time you go on a listing appointment. I just want you to do it on the first of each month. I want you to go in, pull these numbers, and you can use it for every listing appointment you go on for the rest of that month. And then on the first of the next month, you pull the previous months again, and you just keep doing it. If you got admin support, they can do it for you. You might have to help them the first time. It'll be slow the first time, but pretty soon you'll know how to pull all this data. Every MLS will give you this data. And then after 30 days, if it didn't sell, I'm going to pull it again, and I'm going to go right back in front of them. And all of a sudden I'm going to say, hey, here we are. Guess what? Only 3 sold last month, and you weren't one of them. Then I'm going to combine that by showing them how their online views have been dropping and say, we're not getting exposed anymore. I mean, understand online views are that important. Why do you think all of a sudden we're hearing all of these private MLS listings all over the place? Why do you think we're seeing people battling the Compasses and the Douglas Ellimans who wants to keep their listings private? I hope you know why that is. They're not trying to double end it. They're trying to keep MLS views down, days on market down, so that they can then relist them publicly later. And boom, they'll get all that exposure for the first time. They actually get longer views for a longer period of time. That's the basis for it. That's how important online views are. It's all about exposure. It's not about you out there trying to hustle down a buyer. There's one of you, and there's, I don't know how many thousand agents in your MLS. The odds of you bringing the buyer just simply are not that high. So our job is to market to agents. Over 95% of home sales are done by a buyer that is represented by an agent. That agent shows the buyers which properties to go look at. So who are we really marketing to? The public or other agents? We're marketing to other agents, since 95% of sales come from there. Your clients have to know that. And most of them do not. In fact, most of you hearing this for the first time are saying, I never thought of it that way. But that is the only way. And the 5% that aren't using buyer's agents, they're usually buying directly from a build. A tiny sliver of those is FSBOs. In the resale market, it's about exposure to other agents. Yes, we're going to get a lot of exposure to the public in those first 30. So we need to really try to price it right. Because I can tell you right now, as real estate agents, that's how you learn your skill level. If you price it and it doesn't sell in the first 30 days, we have got a tremendous problem with your ability to price homes. You're pricing too aggressively. You're risking your client's money, because then we're going to have to reduce to an amount lower than we could have priced it correctly at the first place. And you've gambled with your clients' money and lost them money. If you are asking your clients where do they want to price it, I stop short of saying surrender your real estate license, because what the heck do they need you for? That is the one thing a listing agent does. They price well. So we got to start pricing conservatively and get it there so that what we advise actually comes to pass. So it's really important to get them there. We have to show them what they're up against. They have to see that it's 1 out of 15 homes that have sold at their price in the last 30 days. That all these other guys are cruising for a price reduction. And you're going to see when you pull your numbers, these type of ratios, whether it's 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, are actually selling. So it's absolutely crucial that we do that up front. That's our due diligence. And it's amazing how many agents go into listing appointment and they can't get the influence of the seller. The seller just thinks, I need you to put it in MLS. I've sold 4 or 5 houses myself. What do I need you for? Don't answer that. Show them the answer to that. Demonstrate it. Don't talk them out of it. That's how you gain influence, is you put things in a different perspective and show them how to look at information that they didn't even have access to in the first place. So this is our listings and sales by price range tool that we use. It's very simple. I mean, it's even in a clunky old Excel spreadsheet format, so you can all use it. You've all got the tools to be able to use it. You can save it as a PDF. You can present it. You can make a slide out of it that way. It's very easy and old-fashioned, but it's something that we all need to be using if you're having a hard time getting homes sold in a time that meets your client's expectations, okay? So hopefully that helps us navigate this market.